is coming through a little bit later to finish um, the story. So, what it is, it's your girl Cadillac. Oh, hold on. I'm going to start out with the end. What it is your girl Cadillac. I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face to bleed. Hiss, your girl Cadillac. Anyways, I do hope, I wish this car would pull from in front of me with these, I mean, directly parked in front of me with these bright lights. Anyways, I do hope this is recording because I'm not in my regular spot. Y'all already know the rundown when I'm not in my regular spot. Times it comes out pixelated, but uh, I just want to finish this story time because I actually don't even want to finish it. I'm tired now, so I know if I don't finish it, I ain't gonna finish it, right? So we trying to go ahead and keep up with it. Okay, so we're cut off where I was saying that I was hungry. I was in PCU. They moved me down. Um, oh, I'm sorry. This is my story time of my hospitalization for ketoacidosis. Okay, so after being treated, I was moved down to PCU and finally was going to get to eat like 4 p.m. But they missed I made my order in the ICU and they kept saying they were going to move me. And of course, they moved me when it's dinner time, girl. So they moved me to PCU. And that's when they peek in and say, "Do you have any empty trays?" I'm like, I was never brought a full tray. Like, I ain't even ate. And I'm like, if dinner this late, because it was about the time the cafeteria was going to close, nobody was coming out there to stay with me that night. So I'm like, literally, how am I going to eat? They were saying you could order Uber or whatever, something like that. I never done that. But then also that's more expensive and your girl is down to that bottom dollar, right? So I was hoping to get my food. So the girl, the nurse that I said that I used to work with, she went and found me a tray. It was so good, and it had a little extra something on it because the day before I had that same meal, but I didn't have the roll. So she brought me a wheat roll and the fruit cup. They actually threw the fruit cup in there because the other tray was limited to them calories. So it was really good. The only thing that my cousin was like, she shouldn't have brought you. She brought me a cranberry juice. It was about that big and it wasn't sugar free. He was like, girl, pour some water in that, dilute it, and then you could drink it. Even though I drank it, it didn't bother me that much or whatever. So they would have brought me probably that Sheps, or I could have the zero Gatorade or whatever. So by it being a road tray, I got a little extra on me. Girl. So I ate, and through that night, they didn't come in that much. I remember at one point, oh yeah, when I, to back up a little bit, when I was in ICU, they had detached. Remember, I said I had two IVs. I had the insulin and the glucose coming through one IV, the big, huge little thing that was hurting. And then I had the regular hydration saline on the other side. They had took me off and thought I was good. And then they ordered to put me back on it. Oh, my whole mood just had changed. So I thought I was never getting out of ICU, to where I just kind of gave up hope. I was like, y'all move me when y'all move me. Just, ugh. So, back to the PCU. So I think I only stayed that one day. They were thinking, oh, you good. They check on me. Blood sugar is good. Everything is good. So I'm waiting to be released, which I thought I would be released in the morning. But the morning, they did not release me. They said after I had to meet with the endocrinologist, which he never came. Then I had to, oh, girl, back up again. That first night in ICU, no, the second night, because they wouldn't let me eat that night. The next night, they said they were going to let me eat. So I had already planned out that I'm going to eat and then I'm going to take a shower. When they told me I couldn't eat, I was just over it. I didn't even take a shower. I was like, just let me go to bed. I was irritated because I could not eat. It had been over 36 hours. So the next morning, before they moved me, well, evening ish, afternoon ish, before they moved me to PCU, they allowed me to shower. Now, because of the diagnosis, they had to like be right in the freaking goddamn room with me, and they would not let me stand up to shower. I had to shower in a chair, which was very difficult. Girl, that was hard as I don't know what, but they made me shower in the chair. Um, the nurse before was detaching my IVs to let me use the restroom. This nurse was not detaching it, was making me take the whole IV pack to the bathroom. It was like it was too much. It was way too much to the point where I really didn't even want to go to the bathroom like that. But I had to. So finally, back to me being in PCU. I'm told most likely I'll get out in the morning. So that morning, I had to meet with the nutritionist again because when I was in the ICU, they did come in and the nutritionist kind of went over meals for diabetic, saying that you have to limit your carbs. You're on a low carb, high protein diet. Limit your carbs to 60 per meal. So saying if you eat this, that's 30 carbs. You only got about 30 carbs left to eat. You have your protein, and then I noticed I can't think of what the third thing is, but usually it was like some type of fruit or veggies, right? But you still gotta limit your fruit and veggies because those turn to starches and sugars and things like that. So she went over that. Then she did an exam, and that's when she was saying, "Oh wow, we do see the significant weight loss because I have this sagging skin." And then my daughter even said that this was starting to sag because I had the fat round face. I have cheeks. I feel my cheeks um, like fluffing back out because these were flat. And then this line here was so prevalent. It looked so ugly. When I would look in the mirror, I felt like I seen a ugly, ugh. I'm like, I look ridiculous. I could not stand the way I was looking, um, losing all that weight. So I do see my cheeks starting to puff out. And that's what made me cute, girl. That's what made me look like a little baby face. Like, even though my age, I always look younger than my age because I always had the fat cheeks. But my cheeks would go. And I used to have a little pudge up under my neck, and that was starting to go. So, yeah, she was like, we can see that you had significant weight loss, but the muscle looks like it looks like that skin could be toned up, which I did some toning today, little weights. I started out with 2 pounds. I know that sound like that ain't nothing, girl. Go on to bed. But if you know how weak I feel, those 2 pounds were really actually working me out. Um, so I was supposed to meet with the nutritionist one more time before leaving. So I was waiting on the endocrinologist. They let me take a shower that day before going home, and I did not have to sit in the chair. I was able to shower by myself. I was detached from all that stuff. It felt so good. Oh my goodness, to not be weighed down like that. And the doctor came back in. He said everything looks good. And then he was telling me how I would be released on the insulin. And that's when my cousin was there at the time, close to me being released. He didn't stay all the way till I was being released, but he heard the medicine they were prescribing. And that's when he was like, hold on, you talking about syringes? And he's like, well, why can't she get the pen? I have the pen. It's easy, just a little prick. You take it and you're good. And he was like, I don't think she's going to do good with them syringes. And that's when I was like, well, how big is it? He was like, it's big. And then you can't see that well. you don't want to mess around and not see the insulin and take more than you're supposed to, less than you're supposed to. And that's when I was like, well, let me see the syringe. And the nurse actually said, well, I'll see if, if you can actually make out the numbers or whatever like that. And I was trying my hardest, and she was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with you. Actually, I think he's right. I don't feel comfortable with you using those syringes. So I'm going to get on there now and ask the doctor to please change that prescription from the syringes to the pen. The pen is I've not ever used the syringe. So, but I'm guessing that pen got to be a lot easier than that syringe, right? And then y'all know the story time I did about all the issues with the testing supplies and them prescribing the wrong things and all of that stuff. But if that was that difficult, think about had I had a syringe, right? And then the truth about um, not being able to see the number. And the reason he was saying the pen was better because each unit, you hear a click, 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 click when you turn the pen. And he's fully blind. So he takes his insulin not by seeing the number, he takes it by the clicks, click, click, click. And by me having low vision, which though I have vision, it would look like swirls. So how would I look at the swirls and know that this is the amount I'm supposed to take? So the click, 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 click actually helps, and it has bigger numbers on it. And I'm now able to take it myself. At first, I was having my daughter administer it. I was nervous. And then of course, the pin needle is about that big. The syringe is bigger. So all of that worked out by him being there. Thank God that he was there to get the doctor to actually prescribe something different, right? Because even after he had talked to my cousin and was telling him she's legally blind, I don't think she needs to have that. The doctor still prescribed the syringes, still did it. It was the nurse that came in and was like, well, let me see you do it. Because I was supposed to actually, they had to walk me through doing it myself before I left the hospital, which we never got to that. But when she brought it in, she seen that I was having trouble. She was like, no, I don't even feel comfortable because you can't even see it correctly. That's when she was like, no, you really, she got on her phone then, said, I'm going to message him now. He's going to have to get that pen. And that's when he changed it. And that was all, because my cousin spoke up. Um, and the nurse advocated for me. That's crazy. All them nurses, I told you God sent the ones that he wanted to take care of me, right? They were the hands of God at that point. So that's what they were waiting on, that prescription to change. So that's another reason as well why I didn't get to be shown before. And they were trying to hurry and release me so that I could make it to the pharmacy before they closed to pick up the medicine, right? So finally, I was released around 5-ish, almost 6. Right before the pharmacy was finna close, my daughter zoomed on 2 tires. Hit that 3-wheel motion, girl. And she got there for me to pick up my insulin. I had 8 because I was hoping they brought my dinners before they released me, because I was like, I ain't got to worry about finding me nothing to eat the next day. I mean, that night for dinner if I already ate. And that's what happened. And they had already administered the insulin for that night. So I was good until morning. Now, if you want to hear all the fiasco that happened once I was released from the hospital, all that craziness, all that stress, then the next video of getting the medicine and that whole chaotic mess, I'll put that in the description box. I already recorded that. All right, guys. So I thank you for rolling with your girl, Cadillac. Yeah, so y'all just following me with my journey of One, on this channel, free of my husband, girl. Y'all following me on my spiritual journey, right? God opening my eyes. Y'all are following me on my I already said health journey, and free of my husband and my art journey. So y'all just journeying with your girl to actually trying to be and live the life that God intended. A lot of times we live an illusion. We live almost like we live a whole different identity. It's like you know it's not you. Like how I was saying, I was looking in the mirror and I didn't see myself. I see a person with no cheeks when I know I had cheeks. I'm seeing this all caved in. I'm seeing this line all creased up, and I know that I'm bigger than this. I'm a big girl, and I look in the mirror and I'm seeing a skeleton. Um, it makes you know that's not you. So when I live this overwhelming, stressed out, ain't got no money. Why am I broke? I shouldn't even be broke. This is not this is not my identity. It feels like I'm living an alternative identity, which is the identity that they want to put on us when we're living this matrix life. Like, right? So I'm living this alternative when I should not be. I am the lender. I'm not supposed to be borrowing. I'm not supposed to be destitute. I'm supposed to be abundant. Like, what is this alternative that I'm living, and why am I living this? So we are journeying, I'm journeying from living this illusion to trying to live the purpose that I was put on this earth for, right? Using the gifts that I was given for the purpose it was given. And, you know, because all in all, God always provides. He's going to provide. Even when I had nothing, even when I had nowhere near enough, He always provided for me. But He's not a God of barely enough. That's not of Him to. For sometimes you do have to struggle because that teaches you. But I don't believe it was His will for me to struggle my whole entire life and have not anything to show for it. That you can't tell me that's of God. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Hiss your girl Cadillac.